sorry, that's just anti-trans.
Anyway, Leo and Willy, the Buck Angel deep dive you need to watch. I don't hate Buck Angel, I don't agree with him on everything, for sure. Talks to detransitioners, which is more than Jammy Dodger fucking does. But yeah, I don't know, let's see.
As a trans femme who doesn't care about passing in a traditional sense, I've realized something.
You're not a trans femme, you're just a bloke. I'm sorry about it.
And that's that I experience transphobia from everybody. From...
Do you? You've got a fucking fucking septum ring. Called Nazi for calling out Balenciaga. Yeah, and people were saying that it was transphobic. Because trans people get called groomers sometimes. You can't make it up. I don't know what the fuck they were on saying that shit. Yeah, this person, you're calling yourself trans femme. I'm sorry, I'm not seeing it.
Cis people to trans people to NBs. And it's really weird. I assume that it has more to do with them, but that line of thinking is very congruent with like transmedicalism.
This is like retard tier. I get that it's TikTok, but like still.
Which is bad.
This is like Delulu is what this is.
What? First off, come on. You're not trans anything, because I always pushed against that hashtag trans is beautiful.
Yeah, is that supposed to be bad? I agree with him. That's just a bloke.
Well, I thought you are actually indoctrinating people with that.
Wouldn't surprise me if she makes divorce because they're both socialist. She doesn't get much acknowledgement for being a socialist.
It's not beautiful. They're not making any effort to look like a woman. Yet they want to be called a trans woman. Yet they want to be a trans woman. Yet there they are, just looking like a...
I'm supposed to think all this is bad, I'm sure.
It's from the trans community, and they are not...
Oh, I like this guy. I like, what's his name? Offensive Tranny Marcus. I actually like him. I think he's pretty good. And, like, he'll be the kind of person... He did a video about whether Jeffrey Marsh is a pedophile, because people call him one. And he was, like, saying, like, there's really no evidence to call him a pedophile. Like, you know, when people can be mature about stuff like that, that usually makes me feel a bit better about them. But yeah, I quite like Marcus. He gets a lot of shit, and I think it's undeserved to a certain extent. I definitely think some people like haven't watched his content or have listened to it through the gender ideology lens or whatever, and that's what the problem they have with it is.
The biggest fan of you, anymore at least.
Wow.
It used to be different, right?
Oh yeah, they're not biologically female. They identify as females, they were raised as females, but they are not female.
Yeah, I'm not female. Like, what's wrong with that?
Tired of dealing with the repercussions of being visible as a trans person. Well, there's a real easy way to solve that problem. It's like don't parade around as a trans person.
Just button it.
We don't normally do this, but because of how...
I think Jeffrey Marsh is creepy, but in all fairness, there's no actual evidence he likes kids. Exactly, yeah. And that's what I said over and over in my video about Jez, saying, I'm not actually calling them a pedophile, but she still accused me of calling her a pedophile anyway. I asked if you liked kids because you wouldn't answer any of my fucking questions about the shit that I was actually concerned about, which you pretended I wasn't. Anyway, I need to shut the fuck up about that shit, because I think that shit's over. Someone bigger than me will find the same problem with Jez doing activism that I did, and they're going to take way more shit than they did from me, so... It's fine. I look forward to getting no credit for knowing something that someone else found out later.
Helpful you were with the last one. You've been randomly selected for jury service again. The client, one Buck Angel, is a divisive character to say the least. Some people say he's amazing.
Oh, this is obnoxious.
For the community. Tramper, an innocent fatality of left wokeism. Others say he is problematic, pandering to the right, and guilty of selling.
Yeah, that's what you think, I bet. I could be wrong. Listen, okay, why am I pretending? They're probably going to take that stance, aren't they?
Out his own community. Today, you will hear arguments from both sides.
You're also a retard if you think that.
And you will decide whether Buck Angel is guilty or not guilty, and you will be...
NBs such as Loxander claim they can't figure out which toilet to use. That's like such retardation. I'm not a fan of Loxander. I saw one video where she was, citing Erin in the Morning and talking about some study that meant that trans kids are valid and the desistance rate is low, which anyone quoting Erin in the Morning, like, I can't trust them straight away. There was something else. She talked about the cast review and how she didn't read it and she was glad someone else did so she can trust them. It's like that's the last thing you should be fucking doing. You can't trust anyone on this shit because plenty of people saw the cast review and were like jumping for joy. Yes, it's the end of trans. Here we go. It didn't really happen that way because it's not how it works. Plenty of people were like, it's political propaganda. Cass is a Hitler. And it's like, no, just no. Like Erin in the Morning was like one of the main like propagandists, proponents of that whole thing, and it's bullshit. It's complete bullshit.
Sorry, I'm late. I'm sorry about him. He's new. Have you packed your goals?
Hell yeah.
We don't dive in.
Feels like that person's being misgendered, but I guess they're not.
What's up,
Queer AF.
rebels? My name's Willy.
My name is...
I have extreme regrets about picking this video. Do I have to watch this? Do I have to? Do I really have to?
I'm from the UK.
I'm from the US.
We are engaged, we are queer, and today we're here to dig.
Wow. You've told me so much about you by saying that you're queer. I know so much about these people now, such as... fuck all.
Ever so deeply
Into the life of the...
Listen, this is definitely aimed at kids, but listen... Why would you aim a video at kids for, like, about Buck Angel? Why? I don't know. I'm dying already.
anti-woke, heated, sizzling, crispy mess. That is Buck Angel.
We're getting ahead of ourselves, so let's...
Wait, hang on.
Deeply
Into the life of the...
divisive,
anti-woke, heated, sizzling.
crispy. A very good place to...
When does it get to the part where they just talk instead of going off and singing every 2 seconds? Because I'm not into that at all. Yeah, this is making me watch this. Like, if you made me watch this, that would be considered terrorism. I don't want to watch this every... Listen, if I do it now, I don't have to do it another time, you know what I mean? Hang on, I think I fucked my eyebrow up. These are not natural. These are almost completely drawn in. And if you see the odd video of me where I have no makeup on, you'll see that they're just like little lines that stick up there and then stop very abruptly.
Esteemed agencies.
As a female presenting model at the time, his looks were considered very daring, androgynous, and for the 80s incredibly progressive.
He paved the way for a lot of today's most successful models, but he hated it, and eventually he would turn to drugs and alcohol.
His addiction unfortunately led to homelessness and a poor mental health. So, Buck decided to reach out for professional help.
Therapists were not sure how to assist with these gender identity issues, with one even labeling him a male-identified female. However,
Things allegedly started to change when Buck watched a documentary that explored trans
Linehead.
identity.
the discovery of this documentary prompted more therapy, until finally he found a therapist who could effectively help him, and he began his medical journey presenting as a man.
And one day I just
Oh, my eyebrow. Yeah, sorry. Oh, I saw this. I used to like Against Me. This was like back when I was like considering transitioning. Like the singer did like some series, and Buck Angel was one of the people in it.
said, I feel like a guy. And then I'll never forget, she said to me, I believe you.
Being a trans man, as well as a public figure at the time, opened Buck up to a lot of entertainment opportunities.
He would appear on the Tyra Banks show, which is famously known for aging terribly.
I love my vagina. Yes. Do you love your vagina?
No. I know.
Why is this aged terribly? Never knew a jawline could look gay before seeing that too. What the hell?
I love it. It's just part of me. It's funny looking at you. If you were like in a bar or something, I'd be like,
I thought they were female, so I'm not sure. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Everyone is they now. I can't be asked with any genders, unless you're cisgender, in which case I will call you what you are. The makeup on the cheek.
Buck looks like he has a big.
Other appearances include Out
Yeah, my theory is this person is one female.
TV, The Howard Stern Show,
Sorry, I've just done a hate speech. I will wait at the front door, and Keir Starmer can send someone to lock me up for hate speech, because I just suggested that one of these people, or if both of these people in fact were born female, I don't know. Take me away, boys. I've had enough anyway. I can't deal with trans people anymore, because all we do is lie, and I'm tired of it. I'm not even talking about this video anymore. The last video just fucking broke me.
Much music, and many more.
In 2011, he would release a documentary called Sexing the Trans Man.
IMDb describes this documentary as a groundbreaking mainstream documentary about FTM sexualities. Buck Angel elicits intimate, in-depth conversations with trans men and those who love them about how their bodies, sexualities, and identities are affected by the medical and social process of gender transition.
The documentary would go on to receive multiple AVN awards. It would then go on to win the most tantalizing trans film in the 2012 Feminist In 2013, Netflix premiered Mr. Angel, a documentary about Buck Angel's life.
This was taken down by Netflix in 2016 for reasons that they never publicly shared, but it is still available on Amazon today.
He would go on to do several talks around the world, educating people about his experience as a proud trans man. Okay. The court knows about his past now.
We know where he came from, so now, get your cups out.
Yeah, the jawline changes when they go sideways, so I'm guessing this is exaggeratory makeup. I mean, hey, I do the same thing when I'm wearing more makeup than this. Yes. IKEA cup gang. There we go. This is the mascot of my channel practically. I need to get Charlie to do an artwork with me with the IKEA cup. Maybe my thing should be an IKEA cup. Although then people will think it's like similar to the shark thing, so I don't know. They're good cups though.
It's gonna be tame. We believe Buck Angel is guilty of several things. Using his acclaimed name to silence the very real opposing views against him and transmedicalism.
Financially benefiting.
Silence people? When does he silence people? I knew it. That they pretend it's going to be like this balanced thing. Yeah, contouring. So when I contour, I kind of darken like up here because my forehead's quite big to sort of draw attention away from it. I do kind of under here. I do like down my nose, and then I do on my jawline because my jaw is like very square. You can probably see. It puts that person's to shame, quite frankly. And yeah, it kind of disappears when they go sideways. You see how it is. But yeah, contouring.
From discussing trans issues, then using
I'm not wearing any contouring though. I do it when I have more time / can be bothered.
that same platform to target other trans people for doing the exact same thing. I guess he doesn't like sharing the spotlight.
He really said, I want to be the only trans person on YouTube.
This is just like some Mean Girls club shitting on someone. Like, what am I...
Why is he in a telenovela in my dream sequence, you ask? I don't know. Why haven't you registered to vote? That one Marinate and get back to us in the comment section, alright, darling?
Hey, Trampa! Moving
This is incredibly quirky, but what the fuck are you on?
towards gender progressiveness is a good thing.
I think it's odd that he positions himself.
Why? Why is it a good thing? Why is trans communities being completely inaccessible for people like me a good thing? Why is trans having no fucking definition anymore a good thing? Why is encouraging more kids to like take on these trans identities and like exotic fucking... I'll slow it down a bit. Exotic fucking identities. Why is that good? Are you helping people to be themselves? Or are you just influencing people? Because, you know, it seems very unlikely to me that all these non-binary people suddenly just have a word for their identity they've been feeling the whole time. I think it's much more likely a lot of these people, they didn't have a word for it and they didn't feel anything until they learned about it or until they were around these kinds of people. And that's where they got into it. And that's where they decided that they're being themselves now. Like, how many people transition because they've met other trans people and are in with other trans people? Like, you'll be surprised.
As the community elder while spending most of his elderly time firing shots at young people.
It's not giving the grandpa that you want to go to and you want to share some milk and cookies.
You go,
I like how they show like 0 examples of what they're saying. That's coming from someone who's into chopper rap.
the Trump a book when you're hungry for some misgendering.
The only thing on his menu is transphobia. Can't be denied that he did a lot of great.
Listen, is this queer humor? Because if so, fine. I guess it explains a lot as to why that kind of shit doesn't work for me. I don't know.
things for the community, but he was also kind of a douchebag. Y'all remember the drama between Buck and Lana Wachowski? Nah, we got you.
Picture it. 2013. Buck's ex-wife has an affair with Lana. If you don't know who she is, Lana is one of the amazing people behind the concept of The Matrix.
Of course she's an amazing person because she's trans.
And so many other prestigious movies.
Fun fact, the
Do they get to say that when they were male? Well, they were still living as males when they made that. You know what I mean?
Matrix was actually directed by 2 trans women, Lily and Lana Wachowski.
But neither of them were trans at the time.
We do not condone what Lana did.
Oh, I don't fucking know. This person doesn't seem to care that Lana has racist hair, though, so I don't know.
But we also don't condone what Buck did next.
Yeah, and Buck Angel's the one you're going to shit on, not the other one, so...
At the time of the affair, Lana was in the closet about her gender identity, and Buck basically went around spreading all this out and outing her to as many tabloids as he could get his hands on.
It's a shitty thing to do, but also... Yeah, I hate that line. I can't fucking deal with that shit. Like... Maybe you were, who fucking knows? You were still, you know. They all claim that, like, it's a trans allegory and stuff. I can't remember how that was supposed to make sense. I quite like the Matrix films when I watched them. There was a lot of irritating, like, writing and a lot of... I felt like there was a lot of, like, Neo goes somewhere and it's like, what do I need to do? You already know what you need to do. Where do I need to go? You already know where you need to go. I felt like there was a lot of that, but I haven't watched it in a really long time. So if I am misremembering them, fair enough. I'm not trying to shit on another trans person's art.
Including the Rolling Stones.
Another YouTube
I don't know why they're taking one side on this. It sounds like people were, like, fucking around a lot. Like, two wrongs don't make a right. Yes, sure, let's criticize both sides of the thing. But no, Buck Angel is an acceptable target. So, yeah, that's how it works.
YouTuber Alexander Jasper actually touched on this subject back in 2020. It was a great video. Unfortunately, the video's comment section got bombarded by Buck fans who seem to think that outing people is completely okay.
For that reason, we want to show you
Bruv. Fucking Jammy Dodger fans will come to my comment sections insisting that lying to people is perfectly okay. This is just what happens if you talk about someone that people like. That always fucking happens. That's just how it is. I'll probably get shit for making this.
a compilation of Alexandra's commentary on this subject. The account doesn't seem to be really active anymore. It's not been used in a couple of years, but we will put a link below in case you want to watch the full thing.
Hang on. Listen, I'm happy to find new people.
So what I want to discuss is...
Shush. I'm happy to find new people. Listen, I watch historic stuff as well. It's important to me how long this has been going on for, how much of the insanity has been going on for a lot longer than I realized, because I used to be like soy as fuck. I used to be a progressive trans person. I was all on the affirm kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, this is a fairly recent development. This has only been a few years that I've been starting to question things. And it's taken me a long time to get to this point where I feel like I am starting to understand anything, because this shit's gone fucking wild. So yeah, I don't know. Hey, more people. Any others of these? I don't know if there's any others. But yeah, I'll check that guy out for sure. Hell yeah. Recommendations. I love them. Thank you. Leo and Willy. I don't know which is which. I'm so sorry.
It's really great. Alexander was talking about these subjects at a time when it was even harder to go up against the circle of sellouts, so...
What, in 2020? Wait, was 2020 even more difficult than 2024? I do not think so. Like, it feels like 2018 to 2022 was like the height of it, you know? I don't know, Chief.
We see you, King, and thank you for tagging us in.
Today we're going to be diving into the wild world of Buck Angel. Who is Buck Angel, and
this guy is captured as fuck. He has one of these flags. I'm not interested.
which, by the way, that situation, also a mess.
So, he was still talking about his ex, even when he got with the new girl. What in the Sam Collins? On a real note, outing someone
Oof, I haven't watched Sam Collins yet. I need to do that.
will never be okay. Endangering one of our trans siblings is disgusting. Doing something impulsively out of anger...
Endangering one of our trans siblings is disgusting. What a bizarre way of putting literally anything.
Maybe one thing, but continuing this behavior for years says a lot about his true intentions in this.
Well, I mean, it suggests that he's a dick, or he was going through a lot of shit and was taking it out on people. Like, I don't fucking know. Like, it's so obvious these people don't care about any of this shit. Sam Collins is another trans YouTuber. Probably similar to Jammy Dodger, I guess, but I need to watch him. I don't want to be... Seeing as the kind of shit that I've been saying about Jammy Dodger today, I don't want to just make that assertion now I think about it, but he's a trans YouTuber. What was I saying? I don't think these people care at all. Jesus Christ, that's the most shit-eating grin I've ever seen. I don't think these people care about what Buck Angel did in fucking 2010 or whatever shit. I don't fucking know when this happened. They don't care about that. He's a target that you can fucking go after because it's acceptable, because he's one of the bad ones. You see, it goes both ways. You call us, oh, one of the good ones. Well, he's one of the bad ones to you. And that's worse in a way, because you're the one shitting on your fucking trans sibling. So how does that feel? Sizzlacked. I don't know if I'm seeing Mo from The Simpsons, but that's a good joke, so I'll use that on my partner later. She loves The Simpsons.
scenario.
Also, Buck, darling, what did you think would happen? Did you think...
Ooh, let's be patronizing as fuck towards someone. That'll fucking... Why do all these people do this, man? Fucking trans people, progressives, all the rest of them, just stop with the fucking condescending shit. You don't need to do that. You don't need to talk to everyone like they're shit. I still can't get over how people truly act and behave. It's almost as if the trans movement has disregarded those things and only focused on visually passing. FTMs will act so fucking feminine. To be honest, I don't even think a lot of people care that much about visually passing, especially trans women. A lot of people seem to be like, well, I identify as this thing, so I am this thing. This deep voice, this is a woman's deep voice, because I identify as a woman. My fucking size 10 feet, those are a woman's size 10 feet. My rather oddly formed, way too far apart breasts that I only grew when I was fucking 26, they're feminine boobs, because I'm a woman, you know? It seems to be more about that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of FTMs that just act like gay men, and gay men are effeminate, so I don't know.
Think you would out them, and then your ex would come back to you like, oh, Buck, darling, after selling our story to the papers and outing us and potentially putting Lana's life in danger, I'm...
Potentially putting her life in danger? I no. I thought celebrities had beef all the time and acted like fucking idiots towards each other all the time, but it only matters when it's a trans person. Suddenly it's putting them in danger. Yeah, like, let's worry about the fucking white fucking trans person living in fucking America who's got millions of dollars. They leave out speaking and thinking patterns for visual. Yeah, I mean, none of them try with any of that shit, like, at all. Even less than appearance. Like, the trans men tend to do a bit better than the trans women, but it's a bit easier to pass as a trans man in general. Ooh, my jaw is hurting. Imagine how insufferable trans activists will be when they start losing all the cultural capital. Yeah, well, it's going to happen because people are getting sick of the lies. A lot of the people coming out these days that are saying the kind of shit that I do, they're not like rightoids, they're not like centrists even, they're like liberals and former progressives who are starting to realize that there's a lot of lies being told, and there's a lot of shit that makes zero sense, and a lot of the shit that makes sense is what they're calling transphobic. Maybe sex does exist. Maybe it's weird that we constantly pretend that it doesn't and make no reference to it. Maybe it's weird that we all love detransitioners and we're on their side and shit, but none of us ever talk to them apart from Buck Angel, who's evil, as this video is attempting to tell us. It's so fucked, man. Like, oh my god.
I'm in love with you again.
I'm looking forward to how insufferable these people are going to be, because it's a long time coming. Let's just put it that way.
Outing Lana wasn't even Buck's only controversy. Buck would go on to push extreme transmedicalist views to his growing audience.
Oh, he has a different theory of you as to what trans is. What a terrible fucking person. Oh no. He thinks that fucking this person might be fake. He thinks that Josh Seater, whatever his fucking name is, might be fake. He probably is fake. There's fake trans people out there. You can't assume that everyone is being honest with their fucking shit when it's literally self-reported. They could be telling you anything. I could be telling you, I'm actually a trans man. I actually was born female and I transitioned to male. That's what I am. I'm a trans man. My name's Mark now, everyone. Everyone call me Mark. I'm a trans man. I was born female.
Which includes a lot of conservative cis people.
Buck would align himself with the right, grifting his way through a false sense of security.
Yeah, there we go. He can't possibly be thinking for himself. He has to be grifting. This is called transphobia. Do you want to know why? Because you people think that trans people can only have certain opinions. Transphobia, that's what you're doing now.
One created by the notion that
Oh, hi, Mark.
Transsexuals and transgenders are worlds apart.
On July 28th, 2022, Buck tweeted, I am not a man. I am a born female who takes testosterone and had surgery to look and walk like a man. Please do not speak for me as I do not speak for you. I acknowledge...
What's wrong with that? He's putting himself in a separate category. What's wrong with that? Like, if someone doesn't want to be a queer or something, then just don't consider them a queer. Maybe they've got reasons why they don't want to be called that, such as, I don't know what the fuck it means, so I don't know what anyone's calling me when they call me queer, so I don't want to be called it.
Acknowledge my biology. Thank you. Don't get butthurt because I tell the truth. Love Trenpa.
I know he gets...
Well, how are you gonna get around his sex literally being what it is, female? How are you gonna get around that? I'll see, I guess. I don't know how much more of this shit I'm watching because it's killing me.
There's a lot of like issues online with using transsexual instead of transgender, but as a trans man, can you
What's wrong with using transsexual either? I use transsexual.
tell us more about that? I think the court and I could certainly do with a little bit more education.
I can only speak on my perspective, of course, but I personally
Oh, I hate that phrase. They always say, oh, I can only speak on my perspective. Like, no fucking shit. Obviously.
think that people who use transsexual and people who use transgender to define themselves are both equally valid. Some people...
Oh, I'm valid. There we go. I'm a valid trans woman. All of you are transphobes, and I'm valid because this person said so. Anyway.
Like Buck himself, may identify with transsexual because it aligns with their experience with medical transition or how they've gone about their gender journey. Whereas other people feel the term is a bit outdated and often can be offensive because it's rooted in a lot of...
If it's offensive, then you need to examine why you're offended.
strict binary ideas around gender, identity.
Strict binary. Who's offended at the idea that there's two genders? Like, Jesus Christ, what happened to being able to disagree about anything? This is exactly why I made my fucking Discord. Like, I need to be able to have conversations where someone's not going to get offended whenever I say something that's not 100% aligned with the cult. Do I watch King Critical? Yeah, I do. I quite like him, to be honest. I don't agree with everything he said. He says, should I say? But even like, you know, I used to watch ContraPoints a lot, and like, there's less stuff of hers that I agree with nowadays. I think sometimes I kind of see the trans perspective a bit more, but I like King Critical in general. I watched his Vorsh debate on my channel, so that's on there somewhere. It's really long and insufferable, but yeah, it's there. The timeline where Buck is the wrong kind of trans and Jermaine Greer is wrong, feminist is wild. Yeah.
Identity and transition. I'm a trans person who feels that...
object! I know that Mr. Storm spoke for the entire trans community. The prosecution's argument and respect your elders has been around forever. Some speculate it's derivative of the biblical commandments. Honor thy mother and father. But this is not my community.
There have been a lot of lies about J.K. Rowling, and I don't even like her. I'm not even a fan of hers, like, at all.
It has been taken over by zombies.
What's really wild is that he produces films, he does YouTube, he does speeches, and still has time to be a pick-me on Twitter?
Let him know.
Pick me. Yep, there we go. More transphobia. You can't handle someone having a different opinion to you. She, like, could do your shirt up, unless there's, like, a tube top underneath. It proper looks like there's just nothing there. Pick me, pick me, pick me, pick me, pick me. Wow, you're so original. August 31st, 2024. You're totally the first person to call a self-fucking-thinking trans person a pick me. Well done.
Mr. Storm.
Loud and clear, Mrs. Storm.
Prosecution wants to introduce more evidence. Do y'all remember Buck Angel's alleged pyramid?
JK lifted her ideas from Tolkien. Richest woman in the world stealing a man. Do you mean like for Harry Potter, or do you mean like for the gender stuff?
Scheme? It's okay. Mother has you all.
Buck Angel and Jody Rose, two prominent trans figures, came together to create a platform called Transgasm.
Transgasm was a website where trans people could apply for funds for gender-affirming surgery. The problem is, only 25% of the profits were allocated to doing exactly just that. Instead, 50% of the profits went to people who were creating content for the website, and 20%...
Well, yeah, for marketing, to get more... I can't tell if this is like business retardation, because these people generally hate capitalism and are not interested in it, and so don't actually learn anything before like criticizing it. But I can't tell if it's that or if I just don't know much about how charities are meant to work. I don't know how much of the profit is meant to go to places. Harry Potter. I don't like Harry Potter. I tried reading it. I think I read the second book, and I watched the first and second movies, and I was just, it just bored me. I'm the right age. I should be obsessed with Harry Potter, but I'm just not.
5%, you know, the remaining 25%, that went to Buck and Jody. The whole...
What? They fucking... Yeah, sure. Hang on. I'll click on about 10 wrong things, and then I will get you the invite link. Just give me a sec. Here we go. All right, that one should work. I think I need to update it because I think a lot of them are wrong. Hang on. It's in the description as well, but it might be the wrong one. It says 2cc. Yeah, that's a different one. I think this is a really old one. Hang on. That content wall. All right, I'll update a bunch of stuff later so that people don't complain at me. Yeah, what are we talking about?
The whole thing was a hot mess.
Content for the website and 25%, you know, the
Yeah, I mean, content for the website. What, advertising? Isn't that kind of normal?
remaining 25%, that went to Buck and Jody.
The whole thing was a hot mess. The entire
So they took a salary. I'm not sure. I don't know enough about how charities run. But this seems like digging up every little bit of dirt you can about someone because you've already decided you don't like them and you need to justify it somehow.
entire business model
Wow, post-rationalization, trans people doing that, how crazy.
was pretty complicated and ultimately just worked as a scheme to make him money.
After all the backlash and people calling out for the pyramid scheme it was, they were forced to
You haven't demonstrated it being a pyramid scheme, but okay.
remove everything.
Well, not everything. They left the site's header with a final message for just that special ringer. Remember that paying it forward is part of a strong community. Spreading hate and lies only furthers the destruction of a trans community. Bye and good luck.
Maybe the reason the website wasn't good is because Buck doesn't
Okay, they do some positive stuff after. Like, this is just like shit slinging. Like, who gives a fuck? Like, is this the whole bad bit? He's a transmedicalist. He had a potentially slightly dodgy, like, model of his charity that he ran. Someone else fucked his wife, so he went on a fucking spurg spree about them. Like, who fucking cares, man?
actually care about people who need financial help. Oh, no, sorry. Buck doesn't care about trans men who need financial help.
In 2007, during an interview with Village Voice, Buck says, "That's my hugest pet peeve. You want to be a man? Act like a man. Men take care of themselves. Very rarely do they beg for money. Get a job and save your money like a man. Asking for a handout for surgery, it really bothers me."
Kind of based. I mean, we all know about the trans GoFundMe industrial complex. How many of these people probably could be getting jobs and doing something useful with their lives and being able to afford their shit at the same time? But hey, maybe I can't talk. I don't know. Actually, no, I can fucking talk. I worked like solidly for like 10 years.
It's just wrong.
If it's so wrong to ask for help, why did you, Buck, create a business?
Yeah. I mean, while people want the convenience of like identity and to be something else without any of the effort that goes into it, I guess.
Model solely reliant on people asking for help. Is it because of the 25% profit you put away for yourself? Sorry, allegedly put away for yourself.
Buck's entire YouTube channel.
I still don't know. Like, I'm sure like charity CEOs and shit like that take salaries. I don't even know if that's like that bad. And like, they were complaining about a bunch of the money going towards marketing stuff. I can't come down too hard, but my suspicion is that this is like bullshit.
It's a roaring sound from an aircon we haven't quite figured out how to turn off yet. It's the court's aircon, and not at all because we've moved houses.
Now, let's get back to...
Similarly, if you notice this allergic reaction on my lip cord...
I don't care about your allergic
Now,
reaction.
let's get back to talking about why our client, Buck Angel, is innocent.
Buck Angel and all the other circle of sellouts have their own values and belief systems. Just because they differ from the prosecutions, it doesn't make them automatically wrong.
There's a pattern here of labeling LGBTQ people who go against the grain as sellouts, Uncle Toms, and grifters.
I have no idea what you mean.
But didn't the prosecution
I don't know.
already point out that Buck was making his own finances on his own? So why exactly would he need to be grifting on the internet?
It's interesting that the prosecution delved into his past and have somehow concocted this story of him being a transmedicalist, but have failed to mention that he was the first person who produced FTM adult websites to have trans people be liberated in their own bodies. Failed to mention that. Did that not come up in the Wikipedia page? No?
Let's talk about Buck's transition and his relationship with transmedicalism.
I feel extremely weird having just heard them kind of walk back a lot of the stuff, because that's the format of it, to be clear. Like, all of these comments, like, people are calling him a grifter in here. I think, yeah. Buck Angel infuriates me as a closet non-binary person. What the fuck is a closet non-binary person? It's all, like, shitting on him. It's obvious to me that, you know, you're supposed to be, you're supposed to think a certain way, right? You're supposed to You're supposed to take one side more seriously than the other. That's what it feels like. Pronoun woman made a TikTok after getting kicked out of a gay bar. Yeah, I think I saw that.
But this time, we're gonna look at this issue from the perspective of someone who found out they were trans in the 80s.
Welcome to the 80s, a time where transgender people were classified as having a gender identity disorder by the American Psychiatric Association.
The term transgender was rarely used, if at all, and you would be referred to instead as a transvestite, or a crossdresser, or a transsexual.
Anecdotal testimonies taught us that slurs were frequently used, and very few therapists knew about gender identity issues, so even if you went in for help right now,
Knew about gender identity. Do you mean knew about it? Believed in it, maybe. Yeah, that's what I mean. What the fuck is a closet non-binary? You just aren't calling yourself non-binary? Okay. Did anyone ask?
at 10, you weren't leaving with help.
Gender roles were extremely binary and limiting, with girls being taught to be pretty cheerful.
Oh, this is so patronizing. It's going to be, well, we know better now.
Various men became
that Buck lived through.
This is a generation.
So they're being like, oh, well, he's a product of his time. They're not even like talking about like positive things about him. It was like he founded an adult website for FTMs. And that's it.
Buck survived.
A world in which being trans was truly a social pariah. Why are we looking down on those who came before us and ran so that we could walk? With people like Paul McHugh openly...
Because you've got other trans who are even older than him that are soy as fuck and have bought into all this shit because that's the real grift.
Spewing hate in the media, trans people were often treated as circus acts and freaks.
Surely it's possible to see why Buck would have...
I really love this this history lesson by two fetuses, but I'm not interested actually that much.
Wishes for gender equality for all. Make it make sense. His advocacy has also extended to mainstream media. In 2018,
benefit of people of all genders.
Gender justice centers the needs that have been most... I hate intersectionality. I hate intersectionality so much. Do you know what I think? I don't want to say this about these people, even though it quite possibly applies, but I think so many people try and replace human empathy with like intersectionality, because you can turn it into an equation and it's easier. Well, you know, it's just nonsense. Like, there's some use in like examining who's more privileged in this, that, and the other in some cases. It's not like a framework to view the whole fucking world through. You know what I mean? It's not a framework to start telling people how much perspective they should have based on their color and their gender identity and their sexuality and all this other shit.
Also specifically addresses gender justice on their website, in which they state, achieving gender justice requires us to redistribute power, resources, and access to the and sexual freedom.
Oh, the court wants to make Buck a villain of the trans community when he is a board of director in this company where he pushes for gender equality for all. Make it make sense. His advocacy has also extended to mainstream media. In 2018, Buck did an interview with the Hollywood Reporter about his experiences as a trans man.
In this interview, Buck pointed out that trans people are no different than any other person. And as such, making sure that we have representation of trans characters who are relatable, mundane, everyday people, just in the same way that we have cisgender characters of the same regard.
Cisgender, heteronormative, genderqueer, non-binary, neurotypical, they, them. Okay, I'll call you they, that's fine. Listen, we affirm everyone's genders here because it's important for reasons. By the way, my pronouns are she, him, theirs. That's my pronouns.
These two things should not be any less common than the other.
Here's the deal, what I believe. We're people. We have the same lives as everybody else. We don't do like weird things that other people aren't doing. We
do now. We go on the internet and act like fucking idiots.
Do the same things that everybody else. So representing us in a family show where we just have families and we have lovers and we have friends, I think those are really important kind of shows to make about us, because what it does is it shows to the world that we are just like everybody else and don't fear us.
Oh, if I just review my notes here, we have advocating for body autonomy, working within a non-profit that fights for sexual liberation, and speaking out about representation of trans people in mainstream media, as well as in the adult entertainment industry. Okay, we have things like...
They're back in their bad faith outfits. Oh no, it's different outfits again. Jeez. Really needed 3 different t-shirts, huh? I guess 2 of them are shirts. I don't fucking know.
More for the LGBT community than the young community who critique him. He should be celebrated.
I object! Why? Just so many things I wanted to say before. There's too many ways to say them. I want to make it as accessible to as many people as possible. If you've watched our deep dive before, you know exactly what's coming. I object via rap. I object the defense. How can the team...
Buck Angel bad. There you go. Rap over. Wow, that rap was so much better visually than it would have been audibly, I reckon.
Fire, pow pow. That was completely inappropriate. You know what else is fire? Pow pow. Glasses from Fari. This is an ad.
I can't understand, like, the tone of this. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's about Buck Angel, but it's like it's made by two, like, kids presenters or something. It's really weird. I get this impression. There was someone called Brigitte Empire I've watched a few times, much to my annoyance. And she does the same thing. She'll talk about like super serious things, like adult conversations about like kids killing themselves, but in this like really jokey way where it's like you can't really tell what's like being played up for comedic effect, but it's about a really like serious thing. It makes no sense. I don't know quite what I'm supposed to make of it, like when they do that. Maybe it's like an autism thing. Like the tone clash is like so fucking glaring to me. I don't know. It's like having two songs playing at the same time though to me.
And these court cases as ourselves so that we can refer to Buck as a instead of our client.
In my last deep dive, I did a blue versus red pill experiment.
Listen, they absolutely were just being like full of shit during this section and they just fucking hate Buck Angel.
And Blair White. This comes from the amazing movie The Matrix. I love that movie, I love the movie. In this movie, the central character is offered either a red or a blue pill.
And becoming less of an asshole on the internet. And the red pill is unfortunately Buck staying the same. Let's travel down the rabbit hole and see what we can theorize.
But before you do, we would love to hear your blue versus red pill theories in the comments below, so please do let us know.
What are they even talking about? Just get to the end. Let's just get some kind of conclusion so I can tell whether I was right and they're fucking pretending to be balanced.
You would first have to, publicly denounce transmedicalism, make it very clear that he is.
Publicly denounce transmedicalism. I don't know if I should fucking watch any more of this for that. You don't want anyone to think differently to you. That's what your fucking problem is. Like, I don't know how people can look at themselves in the mirror when they want to force people to believe only what they believe and nothing else. Nothing else is allowed. Transmedicalism. Do you even know what transmedicalism is? I reckon if this person described transmedicalism, what would come out would be the most extreme example of it. And, you know, it's a fucking spectrum of like beliefs, much like calling someone a socialist. You don't automatically go to the most extreme socialist or extreme communist or extreme whatever because you give someone that label. Like that could mean quite a lot of things. Denounce transmedicalism. Like this is gross. This is actually gross. Leo and Willy. How many detransitioners have they spoken to, though? Listen, I'm going to do this from now on. It's going to be a vibe check, but instead of going on their Twitter, seeing something that mildly offends me and getting upset, oh, that's my friend's channel. You should subscribe to this channel if you like figurine painting. My friend Splat Hobbies. Unexpected ad. Calvin Garrett deep dive. I know exactly what the fuck that's going to be. How many detransitions have they spoken to? Quickly before we end, let's have a look. This is my vibe check. I don't go on people's Twitter and soy out because they said one thing I don't like. I see what they do when it comes to detransitioners because we care about detransitioners. Fucking Jammy Dodger said so, and if Jammy Dodger said so, it must be true. Queer love wins. Yeah, testosterone. This person was born female and is living as a male. I'm not seeing many detransitioners, I've got to say. Oh, Jojo Siwa. I could soy out fucking Jojo Siwa. I don't fucking know. Pansexuality real? No, it's something that guys make up so that you'll fuck them. Shave my head. Oh my god, it's so amazing. I'm trans. Don't you care so much about my hair? What is it with females, by the way, and their hair? No one cares about your hair. Hey, yikes. Yeah, I don't know. I thought that was pretty terrible. But hey, we watched it. We, yeah, it happened. I can't be fucked anymore. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I have links in the description. You can check out whatever you want. Mostly just my Discord and my support link. You can send me whatever you want. Yeah. The more support I get, the more I can do this, basically. And my Discord is there. Talk about trans issues, but not get shamed for having the wrong opinion. That's pretty much the whole gist of it. DCP wins again. Yep, indeed. Anyway, my voice hurts. I'm gonna go. Have a good day. Enjoy your evening / whatever you're doing. I love you all. Have a good one.